Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more variable barricade. And okay, so I know in the last part, I was like, I'm gonna record tomorrow. I can't record another part tonight. And bird, simmer down. And I will tell you tomorrow if I made a doctor's appointment. Blah blah blah. Well, I kind of lied to you because I had every intention of recording this part the next day. I recorded the last part on a Wednesday. I had every intention of recording this part on Thursday. But then my friend texted me Wednesday and I was like, you want to go to a show with me on Thursday? And I was like, I haven't seen her in a while. So, like, all right, fine. And then I was like, or fine, stressed out about stuff. Might as well get out of the house, right? So, had absolutely no time to record. And then Friday, I went to my sister's house because my nephew got married earlier this year. I mean, they went to Paris and then like whatever. And then like so they were having like a little reception thing to celebrate that. So I drove to my sister's house Friday afternoon. Like I left work halfway through the day. Um I took a half day. That's what I meant to say. Okay, brain's not functioning properly. Anyway, and then Saturday was gone and I came back Sunday. It's now Monday. So like I don't remember what the fuck was going on. I'm really behind because I meant to record like 2 parts Wednesday, 2 parts Thursday. But Wednesday I was like, I'm not doing good. And then Thursday didn't happen. But anyway, not only did I make a doctor's appointment, I've already been to the doctor because I called on Thursday, made an appointment, and I went in today. So there you go. That's your update. You don't have to harass me. Um, but yeah, but that was fun. So good job there. Yay, good for me. I don't know what's wrong with me still. I got blood drawn. I did EKG, that's fine. Blood pressure's high, but like I'm like, but I'm stressed the fuck out right now. So like that could be it. So like whatever. We'll see what all the blood tests like come back with, but of course, I get to do a sleep study just in case I have sleep apnea because she's like, could be blacking out because, you're not actually sleeping and you think you're sleeping. I'm like, cuz I did mention it, and she's like, tired, and I'm like, I could take a nap right fucking now. I'm like, I feel like I'm always tired and I don't know, like whatever. So, get to do that. Also, now I have another appointment, and this is where she got me because the whole time I'm prepared. I've been prepared. Like, my brother in law's like, oh, it could just be like you're low on iron. And my mom's like, oh, that's true. Your dad would get low on potassium. And I'm like, if I waited like 10 to 15 years to go to a doctor and it's like, you're just low on like a vitamin or a mineral, I'm going to be kind of mad. Like, at the same time, like, good, because it's just iron. Cool, but it's like, so I could have just taken a multivitamin and been fine. The fuck? But, I mean, it's better safe than sorry. But, like, still, you're like, waited all this damn time being like, I'm fine, I'm not fine. And they're like, I mean, you're basically fine. Just take iron supplements. I mean, I don't know what it is. Um, but yeah, I mean, she did at least say that, so thank God, because I was like, yeah, I stopped going to doctors because that motherfucker made me feel like an asshole for thinking that like I had heart problems. Sure, it was just stress, but he didn't even ask what was going on in my life to know if it was stress. He just assumed. Granted, I was dealing with a very stressful time the last time I had heart issues, so yeah, makes total logical sense. But like when someone is like, I think I might die, maybe don't be a dick about it. Be like, I mean, what's going on in your life? Oh, that seems very stressful. I'm sure it's just stress, but if you want to take the test, we can take the test. No big deal. I mean, you're not paying for it. I am. My insurance is paying for it. Why are you lobbying for these fuckers? They're the ones paying you. So they're like, get some tests. I don't know. But anyway. Um, so, it was like, well, it could be stress. Could be like anything. So they're doing all the different tests, like whatever. And like obviously she said like your heart sounds fine when I listen to it, but like did the EKG and but again they take more time putting the little electrodes, the little thingamajigs on you. Then they hook it up and then they push the button and they're like, okay, it looks good. I'm like, that was like a half a second. Sure, it looks good right now. Listen, heart, if you're gonna fail on me, that would have been the time to do it when I was hooked up to machines. I'm just saying. Um, but it doesn't mean anything, obviously, for that split second. But the one thing that she's going on and like, I'm prepared for all this. Iron could be low, could be just be stress, like whatever, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, it could be like this, we're gonna do this, could be a thyroid thing, like whatever. Do the sleep study because it could be sleep apnea. You never know, like whatever. But then the thing is like when she asked about headaches, well, yeah, because like Wednesday and Thursday, I almost blacked out 4 times, twice each day. Okay. And yeah, and my head hurt all of Wednesday and all of Thursday. I had a headache for 2 fucking days. And I'm like, and I've had shooting pains on the left side of my head twice. Which, if you have it once, you're like, ow, what the fuck? And then you just forget about it. But when you already were half blacking out sometimes, you're like, yeah, no, I started to worry about that. But every little thing, you're like, I stubbed my toe. Am I dying? Does it cancer? Do I have toe cancer? You know what I mean? Like, you freak out about everything. So I'm like, yeah. And she's like, okay. So gonna refer you to a neurologist. And I'm like, yeah, well, shit's real now. So that's fun. In case anybody ever questioned if I have brain damage, the answer is probably yes. My family would make a joke about that, but now I get to go to a neurologist. So whoo boy. By the time I get to a neurologist, this game might be over because I'm just saying it's not for a couple of weeks. And I'm like, that's the earliest appointment. But like my head is a ticking time bomb. I could die. I don't want to be like, I'm probably fine because I'm going to die. I'm dying. I'm slow. I mean, we're all dying if you think about it because every day you get closer to death. So you're welcome for that. Oh my God. Anyway, doesn't quite hit me yet. Like every once in a while, I'm like, oh my God, I have to go see a neurologist. Like I just, and it gets a little freaky. And then I'm like, it's fine. I'm fine. I haven't blacked out today almost. Not really. Not true. I mean, oh God. I didn't really, but like I had to tell my boss because the doctor's like, she's like, driving is probably not the best idea, because you never know what's going to happen, whatever. So, she's like, utilize friends, like an Uber, whatever. And I'm like, cool, don't go into work. Awesome. Why I didn't tell my mother on Sunday before I left my sister's house 6 hours away that I was like, oh, I kind of just blacked out a little while we were all talking. Didn't say anything. Drove home. Do not do what I do. I'm not the smartest crayon in the box, motherfuckers. Oh my God. Okay. But anyway, so yeah, here we go. Here's the adventures. Adventures of Spacey's medical journey. Oh my God. Oh, but at least she was like, I think we want to get you to a neurologist. I'm like, I actually appreciate that you seem concerned and the concern in your face where you're wearing a mask. I can see it in your eyes. It's like, it's probably not good. I mean, it might be fine, but at least she's not like, I'm sure you're fine. Let's just do a couple tests and like, whatevs. If you keep blacking out, I guess. It's like, no, I mean, this doesn't sound great. And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't actually sound great, does it? No, it does not. Also, it's probably the feeling of like the fact that I always feel like I'm checked out. Like, and like, not every time, but like, especially around the blackout periods and like those 2 days, I'm like, I'm present. I'm having conversations. I'm doing this right now. I'm fine right this second. But I was talking to my boss and I'm like, well, like even like this, I'm talking to you. I'm engaged in this conversation, blah, blah, blah. But like, I feel like I'm 2 steps away from it. It's like if you're not legal to drink, you shouldn't know this. But like, whatevs. People drink when they're not supposed to. Anyway, you're not shit-faced drunk, but like you're totally sober. You have a couple drinks. You're like maybe a little buzzed, but you're like, I'm totally invested in this conversation. I can carry a conversation. I can communicate with people. You're not slurring your words or anything. No one would know. But you're still like, but I'm not 100% present. Like I'm here, but I feel like I am like in the backseat of my body. You're slightly detached. You're like, I feel slightly detached. I'm here, but I'm also not. That's how I feel. And I'm like, that's probably not good either. I'm not really piloting my body. So my twin that I absorbed in the womb is now trying to take over, and he's being a dick about it, but whatever. That was fun. Let's get back into playing this game because it's been a long time and I'm getting behind. And like, if I don't have this shit recorded and uploaded, you guys are going to think I died. And that's going to be kind of traumatic for all of us. So anyway, I believe based on this, we were watching a movie. Oh, right. We were going on a date with Ichia and we said to go see we were going to see a movie, right? Is that where we are? I think. Anyway, look, that is not because of my brain aneurysm, okay? That is literally just, it's been like almost a week. So of course I don't remember shit, okay? And she asks, how's your memory? And I'm like, I mean, if you watch my YouTube channel, it's like the next day I don't remember what the fuck I just read, but like, that's just normal for me. That's not weird. Never been good at remembering shit. Early Alzheimer's since pretty much the day I rolled out of the womb, basically. Anyway. Chest pains. Stress. That I know is, I'm pretty sure some of the things that I'm feeling is stress. Because, and then like, again, my toe hurts. Oh my God, I have toe cancer. I'm riddled with cancer. You know what I mean? Like when you're concerned about something, And you're like, let me think of my symptoms. You think of everything. You're like, so I sneezed once. Is that like lung cancer? You know what I mean? Like, because you never know what might actually, something innocuous that you're used to. They're like, well, that's actually not good. You know? That's why doctors ask you questions. Like headaches. Yes, actually, I have had quite a few headaches in the last month. It's probably important. Like, I kind of forgot about it. Anyway. I'm assuming actor A. Oh yeah, Playboy. Okay. Yeah, I have a reputation for being a playboy, and I don't deny it. I've been with countless gorgeous women. But it's strange, and now the only woman I can even think about is you. I don't know why his voice just changed, but like, whatevs. The actor's voice rang passionately through the quiet darkness of the movie theater. A man stood before a woman on the screen, emotionally professing his feelings for her. His performance was riveting. Everyone in the audience held their breath as they waited for the woman's answer. Well, everyone but one person. Me. She looks terrified, like she's watching a horror movie. I'm not gonna lie, I love the fact that they didn't show this little chibi thing before, and it was just a black screen, because it would have just ruined it. I go, Ichigo looks bored. He's like, he would say anything like that. It's not nearly cheesy enough. What the hell? He looks slightly bored and a little bit concerned. Oh my gosh, I can barely pay any attention to the movie! As I'd feared, the tickets Ichi had bought were for the couple's seating. Oh right, the fancy couch. Oh, the sexy couches and shit. I want that. You couldn't have that shit in America. There'd be like God knows what all over those because people would be having sex in that theater so there's something gross. People are gross, okay? I wouldn't trust that shit, okay? I'm just saying. Yes, that seating. The kind Samugi's special Bible had labeled an area control move that happened only in movie theater biomes. Whatever that meant. I'm glad she said whatever that meant, because I'm like, did I have a seizure while I was reading that? Because none of that made. Oh my god. Unlike regular movie seats, there was no armrest blocking one seat from the other. It was one sofa. We were so close that if I so much as twitched, I would bump into him. I sat frozen, terrified to move even a hair's breadth. Now, this is kind of funny, though. Like, are movie theaters like this in Japan? Do they have couple seating? Because it's like, are you holding hands in public, you fucking degenerate? But we're gonna sit in a seat where our bodies are gonna touch and we can, like, snuggle? I mean, what the fuck? Just have public sex, people. But seriously. Don't you touch my hand. How dare you, sir? I know we've been married 6 years, but we are not ready to handhold. But then there's this shit where you're basically like, let's snug together. It's just funny, is all I'm saying. It makes no sense. Don't tell me this was what he was after. I glanced over at him. He looked like he was absorbed in what was happening on screen. I love the fact that exactly, like, Ichi is like totally into it, has no clue you're even there. I should have been happy about that, but for some reason I wasn't. Was I the only one who was so self-conscious? I ought to think of something else. What was the advice that Samugi gave me for times like this? Lean into it? Samugi. Spacey. Can you hear my voice? Obviously, you can tell my voice is a little wrecked right now, so. Now turn your lovely eyes to the screen. Don't let exterior distractions bother you. Focus on the movie. Thank you, Samugi. I opened my eyes wide and stared hard at the screen, unblinking. The scene that bored into my eyes was an extreme close-up of the two stars locked in a long and passionate kiss. No! Help me, Samugi! If I wasn't sitting in the middle of a movie theater, I probably would have shouted that out loud. Wait a minute. What does Ichi think of this scene? Oh lord, I hope he doesn't try to use this slop as inspiration for something later on. Spacey. I love her little dream chibi, it's so cute. Ichi's arm wrapped around my shoulders, feeling solid and warm. What? Shh! Not so loud, please. Everyone's trying to enjoy the movie. Well, yes, but do you really have to pull me so close? Didn't I just ask you to be quiet? Aren't you a naughty girl refusing to do as you're told? Why are you leaning closer? If you won't quiet down on your own, I've no choice but to hush you myself. Just like this. No! Be still. Close your eyes. No! I snapped back to myself, shaking my head fiercely in the hopes of knocking away that terrifying mental image. If he really does try something like that, I don't care if I'm out in public. I'll hit that stupid alarm buzzer that Kasuga gave me and slap him across the face. I kind of want to see that happen. If I didn't want that worst case scenario coming true, I couldn't afford to let him get the drop on me. My only hope of surviving was to act the second I saw him make any suspicious moves. He goes to grab his coke, she punches him in the face. I took a deep breath, calming my breathing and focusing intently on Ichiya without actually looking his way. Yeah, but Ichiya's gonna be like, you were staring at me the whole time. Basking in my beautiful visage, weren't you? After a moment, I sensed him turn towards me. Spacey. Here it comes! Here, if you'd like, you can take this. Huh? And this is? A blanket. I noticed you're fidgeting a bit. Are you cold? I don't know if we'd need it, but I grabbed it just in case. Now I'm glad I did. That's it? Huh? It's nothing. Thank you for the blanket. You're like, that's it? And he's like, what? Oh. Now I'm embarrassed. I glanced over at Ichiya, my face still burning from shame. Now that I thought about it, he'd been sitting politely the whole time. Never mind trying to sneakily snuggle closer to me, he was actually leaning as far into the opposite side of the sofa as he could. I couldn't have been comfortable with how tall he was, but he still tried to give me ample personal space. That's actually kind of adorable. With how fucking cheesy he is, but he's like, no, but either that or he's like, I'm actually, as cheesy as I am, I'm actually afraid to touch you. Like, oh, little baby coward Ichiya. Oh. No fair. He was usually so pushy, grabbing every opportunity he could to use his stale pickup lines on me. Yeah, but they're pickup lines. It's different. It's verbal, not physical. But now that we were on a date, all of a sudden he was acting the reserved gentleman. Is this what he was after too? If that's so, then I'm not being fair at all. I took a sip of my soda and grumbled to myself in annoyance. This is so funny. The blanket he'd given me was warm. We weren't touching at all, but for some reason the blanket made it feel like he had wrapped me up in another hug. Sorry, hold on. That might be. Damn it, phone. I love this. Sorry, hold on. Nope. Report spam. Amazon doesn't text you about your account, especially with a random fucking weird email address. Anyway. Man, who would have expected that? The butler was the one behind it all along. See, it's always the motherfucking butler. But in this, it's the butler was the one behind me loving me all along, wasn't it? See? Told you. Oh my god. Listen, game, I might die. Could I date Kasuga, please? Is that what I had to... You know what? The only reason I black out all the time is because the game won't let me date Kasuga. So, I'm just saying. I'm just saying it's the game's fault. It's like the stress of not being able to date Kasuga caught up to me, and I just black out. You gotta laugh about this shit sometimes, it's otherwise scary. Yeah, I really like the scene where Tiger and Lion went to rescue. Tiger and Lion went to rescue Nayata. It was so exciting. Tiger and Lion. Taiga and Shion went to rescue Nayuta. Oh my god. Game, what are you doing? They went to rescue Nayuta and the butler was the... Wait, so what the... Wait, okay, okay. What's Kasuga really motherfucking... When did this become a murder mystery? There's like fucking Clue. What the shit? Okay. I went to my nephew's reception thing, right? Because, like, my sister was joking with him because my... Like... And my mom and I were joking that my invitation seemed kind of fancy because it was like Mr. and Mrs. and my mom's just had their names on it. So, like, obviously, because my mom, grandma, they just sent a special one to her. And, like, I just got the same one that, like, everybody got, like, bulk kind of ones. They just wrote it out for everybody and then just stuffed them in envelopes, right? Makes sense, right? That's what you would do. But it was, like, so funny. So my sister, I guess, must have told my nephew, oh, it's so fancy, you're gonna wear a top hat. And he's like, she better wear a fucking top hat now. So I had to wear a fucking top hat. So of course everyone's like, well, it's just casual. I'm like, you think I can motherfucking be casual with a fucking top hat on? Like, bitch, my top hats have fucking feathers up the wazoo. I look like Mrs. fucking Peacock, right? So, like, I got dressed up, whatever, but my other nephew, like, was wearing blazers, carrying his, like, little satchel bag. He looked like a fucking professor. So I was like, wait, you're Professor Blum. I'm Mrs. Peacock. Or this is a Clue murder mystery party, right? Actually pretty fun. Still we never played the murder mystery party, so I don't know what the fuck was happening, but, it's pretty fucking hilarious. My brother-in-law joked he was going to wear a kilt, and my nephew was like, I'm going to wear a cape. And then he said his wife won't let him wear a cape. And I'm like, do you want me to bring one for your sister's engagement party? Because I got like a fuck ton of cape. I forgot. I'm like, I got capes, motherfucker. I got like Halloween capes. I got you, okay? Like, so I'm going to fucking bring a cape down. Because of course I have to wear like a fucking top hat to my niece's thing now. And Halloween theme, because hers is in October, and I put away my Halloween shit for my nephew's thing, because Halloween has come out since it hit September. For me, for you, it's like fucking August. It's August of next year. It's August. It's like fucking November at this point. God knows. I don't even know. October, maybe? Actually, no. This might only be toward the end of September, beginning of October, because I'm really not that far ahead. So, this is probably still September, and I'm like, son of a bitch. We don't have time. Anyway. But yeah, I really like the scene where Tiger and Lion went to rescue Nayata. It was so exciting. Fucking A. Right? I thought Nayata's character was better suited for a dog than a cat. Oh my fucking god, game. This is not a fever dream, right? I'm not hallucinating? This is happening? Okay. I feel the same way. I'm not sure why. I thought we were seeing a romance movie. I guess maybe it was just a romantic movie in the midst of this action movie, which makes sense because all movies are like that. Why? It's basically at the end of the world. Why? Can you not have sex? There's just more things to worry about. I mean, I guess technically some people would be. The iceberg is coming. Could we, like, worry about staying on this fucking life raft, not boning on it? I'm just saying. Like, this sometimes doesn't make sense. Anyway. The two of us sat in a cafe, excitedly discussing the end of the movie. I'd barely been able to look at the screen at the beginning, but as the movie went along, I got fully absorbed into the story. Okay, so it must be, like, action-y. That's just how good it was. I enjoyed it very much. Still, the main character, Inuya, oh no, reminded me so much of you. Really? I'm honored. It's a lovely compliment to be mentioned in the same breath as a dashing individual like a movie star. No, I meant by how flirty he was. Nervous sweats. Well, now that you mention it, the female lead was exactly like you, stubborn and dead set against falling in love. Hey! I'm not that stubborn. The two of us looked at each other and laughed. Calming down, I took a sip of my tea, but I just really love how, like, the movie is like the other characters, and, like, Nayata is, like, more a dog than a cat. Yeah. Yeah, but, I mean, Nayuta is a dog, right? They've been leaning into it so hard, and they basically just fucking called him out. Hard motherfucker right now. The butler was behind it. Okay. What the fuck are you hinting at? Damn it, game. Oh god, Kasuga's actually our dad, isn't he? Son of a bitch. Well, wouldn't be the first game that gave me daddy issues, would it? That sounds creepy. You know what I mean? First game where you're like, my dad's hot. You know, now that I've hung out with him a little, I can see why he's so popular with girls. Because he's handsome? I mean, he's cheesy as fuck, but I'm kind of into it. The whole date, he was focused on making sure I was enjoying myself. He was attentive and considerate. That's also nice. In fact, I doubted there were too many other men out there who'd put a lady first as much as he had. It really was fun. Yeah, I enjoyed the movie, but I'm enjoying this part of it too. I'd only okayed this date so I could get to know him better, but right now I was having so much fun I caught myself forgetting this date was business. For a minute, I was worried about how it would end, but I was glad to see the two main characters get together. I like happy endings. Ichi's cheesy-ass wink, and you're like, oh yeah. Hold on a second. Hold on, it's my mom texting our group. She just got home. She was driving from my sister's house to Florida, so it was a long ass drive. But anyway. And that's probably mom texting me. Hold on. Hold on. She might want to call because like she knew I had a doctor's appointment today. Okay, hold on. I'll be back in a hot second because I gotta like respond to my mom in this one. I'm not gonna black out as I gotta text my mom back because she worries. Okay, sorry about that. I just obviously my mom was driving home and then she just got home and then she wanted to ask about doctor's appointment. I can't just be like, whatevs, ignore my mother, you know what I mean? So just told her about everything. And then it's just so funny. They recommended a neurologist. What's the neurologist for? Because my brain might be broken. Like, lady, I've been blacking out. Like, that sounds like I didn't think about okay, that's not gonna lie. The first time this happened, I was like, I have a brain aneurysm, I'm gonna die. You know what I mean? So you think about this shit, right? And then you're just like, whatever, that's not it. It's probably whatever. So then what's the neurologist for? Because I might have a fucking aneurysm. Like my brain's obviously broken if I'm passing it. I mean, it could just be like low iron or God knows what. I mean, that's why they did the blood work. But, you know, I'm at least glad that it wasn't like, well, we'll do the blood work and it's probably fine. And then if that came back, it's like, oh my God, go to the neurologist. You know what I mean? So it's like better to get it in because I mean, I can't go to the neurologist for like 2 weeks. I didn't have any appointments. So like, I mean, better to book it, and then if it comes back, I mean, you can still go to the neurologist, but like 99% chance you have fucking no iron in your blood. Bitch, take some iron supplements, and then you do that, and then you're like, I feel great. You know what I mean? So, better safe than sorry. Which, coming from someone who hasn't gone to the doctor in like 15 fucking years. Anyway. Yeah, so, where were we? Alright, yeah, we were talking about our... You know, I like happy endings, and then Ichiya gave you his cheesy wink, which is perfect, because, like, I like happy endings. And you're like, we're gonna get one with Ichiya, because that's the route we're on, right? Do you think that we'll have a happy ending then someday? Huh? We did just got done saying that the two of us are a lot like the movie's two leads, right? Don't be stupid! Of course not! Now, this was a pleasant outing, but I think we ought to be going. Okay. What is this weird feeling in my chest? Girl, I've been having that same problem, but I don't have a handsome man in front of me spilling out cheesy fucking bullshit, so... If I did, I might be like, oh, it must be love. I'd be like, oh my God, do I have indigestion? Like, am I having a heart attack? I wouldn't know either, don't worry. What was going on with me? That's pertinent, right? That is literally just me in a nutshell. Before I would have been able to shrug off that trite remark without a second thought. Accessory shops, pet shops, even an arcade full of boisterous video game fans. We went to places I'd been to with Samugi before and places that had always interested me but had never been able to visit. I went from one location to the next, wherever caught my fancy. By the time I thought to stop, the sun was low in the sky and our shadows were long on the sidewalk. Ichiya hadn't said no to a single one of my suggestions, happily following along in my wake. Ichiya, are you sure there isn't anywhere that you'd like to go? The main point of a date is for the lady to enjoy herself. What the man wants can take a back seat to what she wants for a while. I'd asked him that more than once, but his answer was always the same. He says, what he wants for a while. Okay, this is just, the way you say that. Kind of nice. It's like, oh, no, we'll do what you want. And then eventually I'll be like, I would like to go somewhere. And then I expect you to, like, be willing to do that. Sure, okay, makes sense. Can we go to this place? I would like to go here. Can we see this movie? I would like to see this movie. But just the way you say that's so sinister, like, I'm going to lure you in. We've been going wherever you want, and now it's time to put out, bitch. Ichiya would never do that. But I'm just saying, phrasing Ichiya. Concern. Could this be him making up for... I think it's supposed to be for being as pushy as he was before? That's not out of the question. But something didn't sit right with me about that. Yes, I didn't like him when he was being pushy. But was it selfish to say I was equally uncomfortable when he acted so strangely accommodating too? Like, Ichiya, just be yourself. That's going to be our breakdown. Ichiya, just fucking be yourself! He's like, I hate fucking cooking. And then we're like, well, shit. You're a personal chef. That's going to throw a kink into everything, isn't it? We kept walking about, enjoying sights and shopping. By the time my feet had had enough, it was dark out. Eventually, Ichia glanced at his watch and said it was about time we started towards our reservation. The place he took me to was the top floor of a skyscraper, one of the highest views in the entire city. The luxury restaurant there was famous enough that it was mentioned in many foreign guides to top eateries. It was also notoriously difficult to get reservations at. As the server guided us to a private room in the back, I couldn't hide my surprise. Oh, the view of the night skyline is lovely. Oh my god, his family owns this, that's why. I'm just saying. You know he's like fucking secret rich. I'm glad you like it. Have you ever been here? This location? No, I've been to another in their chain a time or two. It was together with grandfather, though, so I had little time to enjoy the food or the view. And with your grandfather, I assume it was some kind of executive dinner party? Yeah, he brought me along because he said a young lady would brighten up the occasion. I was the perfect mascot, you know? Ichia brought me a non-alcoholic mocktail for my before-dinner drink. It was sweet. I didn't want to end the date this nice by complaining about things, but a wave of awkwardness washed over me. I wished I'd picked some other topic to talk about. What about now? Huh? And tonight your grandfather isn't here. Kasuga isn't here. It's just a prince and his princess. I mean, you had me until you mentioned that Kasuga wasn't here, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that depresses me. Miss Kasuga. He's the light of my life. The apple of my eye. The cream in my coffee. That's from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, by the way, in case you have never fucking seen the goddamn cinematic masterpiece. That is that movie. God damn. I don't know how well that would hold up now, to be honest with you, but it's one of those movies that you watch as a kid and you're just like, I love that. And now you're like, what? But you know. Anyway. Certain lines like that stick in your head from even when you were a child. Whatever. You aren't the Tojo family heir. You are simply the girl named Spacey. And that's not so bad, right? It's not so bad, I suppose. Here I was just me. Hearing that put a little smile on my lips. He is really good when he wants to be. I mean, his lines are great. They're cheesy as shit. But that was good. That was not cheesy. You're getting better, Ichia. He's like, I don't have to be full of cheese if I don't want to be. I just enjoy it. Sometimes cheese makes things better. Ichia looked at me and I thought I heard him say, if you let yourself get bound up by your family name, you can enjoy nice dinners. Or anything, really. Look at how sad he looks. He's a rich fucking he is this motherfucker's loaded. He is loaded. I don't know. There's something about his family and his brother. You know that's his brother. Kazu is his brother. I'm sorry. But there was also something about his family. And didn't I say, he's secret rich boy? Because, even Shion said that, oh, he fancy clothes. And you're like, he's hiding some shit. And then the sad look off into the distance, talking about family names and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did he get kicked out of his family? Maybe. Did he leave his family? Maybe. Is he just tired of his family pushing him around? Maybe the whole marriage fraud thing is because they were like, you're going to marry this person. He was like, fuck that shit. And he pieced out. And then it was like, marriage fraud. You don't know. I'm just saying. Maybe it came up as marriage fraud because they kept, trying to sell him off to people. And they were going to, arrange marriages. And he kept, running away. We kind of did. I'm just saying. Ichia? Who is he saying that to? Me? The sad expression seemed to flit across his face for a moment, but it was there and gone so quickly I wasn't sure if I just imagined it. Anyway, it'd be a pity to waste all this delicious food. The specialties here are amazing. I've been wanting to bring you here so you could try them. Right. I picked up my utensils at his urging. Shion already tipped me off to this, but watching his table manners, he does seem like a person who didn't grow up in a household of standard income. Questions kept piling up in my head, see? If he was born into a well-to-do family, why would he attempt something as heinous as marriage fraud? Again, that's what I'm just saying. I don't think it's all it's cracked up to be. Dinner proceeded apace, and eventually dessert was placed in front of us. Ichia paused for a moment, seemingly hesitating about something. Then he asked me, Hey, Spacey, did you enjoy our date today? could see a little spark of insecurity in his eyes. I said, I think it's funny. I could see a little spark of, like, there's plenty of room to have put something else. Anyway. Yes, I enjoyed myself. What about you? Did you enjoy it? I feel like you just have to straight up say yes. Because, what about you? Did you enjoy it? That's not what he asked. And that's avoiding the question. And so someone's like, oh my god, I love this movie, don't you? And you're like, oh, so cute that you love this movie. I can just tell how much you enjoy this movie. Yeah. You know, you just avoid it being like, no, I fucking hate this shit. People are like, Star Wars, don't you just love all the Star Wars, all of them? And you're like, kill me now. Yeah, no, but you know, or you're just pretending to be no, I would just straight up say kill me now. But anyway, yeah, so saying yes is straight up, you're answering. This is like you're avoiding it, which makes it sound like you didn't have fun. And even if you did and you were like, I want to be like, oh, what about you? Did you have fun? Yeah, okay, good, so did I. You know what I mean? You're avoiding the question and it makes that person that you're answering feel like you didn't have fun and you're just pushing the question back on me so you don't have to answer and admit that you didn't because you don't know how to just lie. Or you just don't want to lie because that would be kind of rude. And I'd be like, yeah, you had fun. And you're like, no, I hate you. You know what I mean? So I feel like, yes, I enjoyed I didn't need to really go into 30-minute explanation, but yes, I enjoyed myself. Bitch. Sometimes I can pick it. Yes, I enjoyed myself. Well, more than I expected anyway. This is you, after all. I thought I'd have to bear your corny flirting throughout the whole ordeal. I started feeling more and more awkward as I talked and ended up saying something I really didn't need to. Ichi's face. He's like, I mean... Oh. Ichiya blinked in surprise. Huh? Oh. Oh, was I really acting so differently compared to how I usually am? I thought I was just being my regular self the whole time. Oh. He looks so sad and embarrassed. I guess I must have been more nervous than I realized. This is our very first date, after all. He's like, I wasn't being corny? Oh, shit. How bad for you? And you're like, no, I liked that. I don't think he got that. That's kind of funny. You're like, yeah, you weren't as cheesy as you usually are, so it was actually enjoyable. And he's like, oh, I wasn't as cheesy. Oh, but you, what must you think of me? Oh, horrible. You know, because he's slightly dramatic. And then you're like, no, but that's what I liked. I don't think you got that. Did his cheeks really have to turn so red? He's so unfair sometimes. Spacey, are you... It's nothing! I looked away and chugged the last of my water, desperately trying to drop my rising body temperature. Anyway, it's probably about time we... Ichiya pulled his phone out of his pocket, looked at the screen, and promptly rolled his eyes. What is it? Oh, nothing. It's just this wonderful, dreamlike day of ours suddenly got invaded by reality. He flipped his phone around so I could see. Yeah, I'm hungry. I thought it was going to be like, oh, it's my brother. It's fucking Nayuta. Imagine if your dog could fucking text you. I want food. Can I go on walks? What are you doing? Are you coming home? I'm sitting on the couch. I'm not supposed to be on the couch, but I'm totally on the couch. But I mean, I'm not on the couch. I never went on the couch. I swear to God. I know you got cameras, but I didn't get on the couch. Again? Food. Those three. Shian's not even involved in this yet. They were all functional adults. Could they not figure out how to open a box and feed themselves for one night? Could they pick up the... It's going to be like, pick up the phone and order food? I'm sorry, all you'd be is like, ding, 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 ding. Excuse me, Kasuga? Could you order us fucking food? I don't know how to use a phone. Clearly they do, because they're texting Ichiya, but I'm just saying. I'm sorry, and Taiga absolutely motherfucking knows how to get himself fucking food. He's self-sufficient unlike the rest of these chuckle fucks. Oh my god. I'm waiting for a tasty souvenir. Great. If we go back home empty-handed, they'll riot like starving gremlins. Yeah, but if it's after midnight, we're not supposed to feed them, so... Yeah. Sorry, Spacey. Can I ask you to wait a few minutes? I'm gonna ask if we can get something to take home. Oh, if we just ask one of the serving staff... And now we're asking them to do something they usually don't. I'm on friendly terms with the manager here, so I'll go and talk it over with him. God, those three... He just sighed and shook his head as he walked out of our private room. I think it's funny, they don't let you take a doggy bag home. You're like, excuse me, we have 3 annoying fucking not toddlers. They're actually functional adult men, but okay, they're not quite functioning adult men. But like, do you have like doggy bags we could bring them? Really? You won't let us, we can't come in and order something to go? Fucking weird. Is that what fancy people shit is like? They're like, I cannot order something to go. Like, bitch, do you not have bloomin' onions here to We're gonna really find bloomin' onions in any like super classy joint. They're fucking delicious though, so I'm just saying. He was right though. It does feel like I was suddenly yanked back to reality. And yet, coming back to myself felt like a small relief. Why? An attentive escort letting me do whatever I wanted to do. This was the best date a girl could hope for. It was so perfect, so ideal that it didn't really feel like it was real. A worry nibbled at my heart. Something felt off. He's trying so hard. You know what it is? I seriously do wonder if, like, he's putting out the lines, he's putting out the move, blah, 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 but, like, maybe it's not 100%. Like, he's hiding something. And I don't think it's hiding, like, I mean, yes, I do think it's hiding, like, who his family is, who he is, how he was raised, that kind of a thing. Like, you know, we're like, oh, you seem like you're actually a rich bitch. What the fuck? He's hiding that. But I mean more like hiding something about himself. Like, you know, just something like it'd be like, oh yes, no, I absolutely love fancy shit. Oh, wine tastings, and you're like, I like myself my fucking Boone's Farm, bitch. You know what I mean? And you're like, I just don't tell my grandma. She's gonna be so mad. We own a winery, and then but it's like, man, sometimes I just want the $2 wine. I don't understand. You know what I mean? Sometimes I just want to drink PBR. You know, like, you know, where you're like, like super rich people would be like offended that you were drinking cheap shit. I'm just saying the cheap shit gets you just as drunk as the fucking expensive shit. Because sometimes I mean, like, unless the alcohol content's different, but most of the time you're like, cheap shit and the expensive shit, same alcohol content, so I'm getting just as wasted for like a third of the fucking price. So, not about the money you spend, it's how fast you get drunk. I'm just kidding. Kidding, I don't drink often. Although I have discovered whiskey. New favorite thing, thank you very much. I mean, like I didn't know whiskey existed before, but like before I'd be like, oh, you want a shot of whiskey? Ew. Until I was at a place and I saw peanut butter and I was like, what is this? What is this peanut? And I didn't realize it was shots. I'm like, what's Old Smoky peanut butter? And my sister's like, oh, it's like whiskey. It's like a shot. It's like peanut butter shot. And I'm like, excuse me? She's like, yeah, it's usually like whiskey. I think that brand's whiskey. And I'm like, garçon. I'm just kidding. We were at like a freaking tavern-y place. So the waitress came over and I was like, I want one of these peanut butter shot things. And I was like, but like whiskey? I'm like, I don't give a shit what it is. It has the word motherfucking peanut butter. I am here for this. Like Pinnacle vodka, right? We all know Pinnacle vodka. They were like, all of a sudden, out of fucking nowhere, these motherfuckers like whipped cream vodka. And you're like, that shit tastes like doing shots of whipped cream. And then it was like, then there's cotton candy. And then there's grape. And then there's fucking like all sort of gummy bears. Like, I don't know. I don't know if there's gummy bear flavored one. I'm sure there is. There's all sorts of bazillion flavors. And you're like, what the crack? Like, what the fucking shit? But you're like, where the fuck is my peanut butter Pinnacle? Where the fuck is my peanut butter vodka? Never happened. What the fuck? You're like, chocolate. Fuck that shit. I want my peanut butter liquor. If it's got peanut butter, I'm there, man. It's like, just peanut butter, right? Also going through slight withdrawals because Jif has been like fucking missing in action since the salmonella outbreak. And like, what the fuck? I can't get my Jif. Alright? I get fancy fucking shit, like fancy almond butter, cashew butter, and like peanut butter, but like it's still not the same. Sometimes you just want to sit there and eat your jar of Jif. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so I was like, I want to try this. Oh my god, it's the greatest motherfucking shit I've ever had in my life. I'm like, I like whiskey now. I mean, peanut butter whiskey, so it kind of declasses it a little bit. You're like, I'm classy, I can just drink whiskey. Peanut butter whiskey, though, so like, take it down a notch. Not that fancy. Sitting in my top hat. I do have a monocle as well, so like, I think that would make it classy. But like, that shit was so good. It smells like peanut butter. It tastes like peanut butter. It's so fucking smooth. It's not even, and you're like, oh my god. So, there's not really any around here. There's like close to me at the liquor stores. You have to go to the Total Wine stores. But when I was at my sister's house, my brother-in-law and my nephew were going out for cigars at the liquor store. And my sister's like, ooh, pick up some of this shit. Look and see if they had it. So he brought back a bottle and like, so now I got a bottle of motherfucking peanut butter whiskey and I'm like, so happy. I'm like, this is my shit. I'm here for this. So everybody has something. Because like the rum that a friend of mine had one time, I'm like, this shit's really good. It was like maybe like honey and stuff. So it was like sweet. It was like really nice. Well, I can't fucking find that anywhere, so now it's like, peanut butter whiskey. Fuck yeah. I live in the South. Tennessee ain't too fucking far. We should be able to get that shit. I'm just saying. Anyway, something felt off. Could my worries be born of my contrary nature? Could I just not want to admit to myself that I was happy? He's hiding something. Like, and again, I feel like it's that. Like, he's like, oh yes, I like a fine cigar. And he's like, I hate it. I hate all of it. I don't think he's not cheesy. I absolutely do, but I definitely think there's a little bit of a facade. Like, oh, I'm doing proper, and this is what the lady wants, and blah, blah, blah. And I can't do what I want because I wouldn't make me, and maybe that's part of the marriage front thing, like, you think? I mean, I'm overanalyzing that, but it could be like, oh, they're like, oh, yes, you're going to do this. And he's like, actually, I actually want to do that. And they're like, oh, how dare you, oh, fraudulent. And like, you know what I mean? If his parents were trying to sell him, it seems like something that would be like out of a woman more. Like your family's trying to sell you off, and then the man's like, how dare you, you misrepresented her. Her boobs are only a B cup. You told me they were C cups. You know what I mean? Some kind of douchey shit like that. Well, like, reverse. He's only 6 foot, not 6'2". Oh, But it was probably more about things he liked. I don't know. I'm just saying he's probably hiding. Like, he's controlling shit, and he's always like, yeah, you. And he's like, that's not. I want to do some stuff too. But he's afraid if he tells you, you're gonna be like, how dare you? Anyway. Or is that what a normal date's really like? Not sure. I pelted myself with questions, even though I knew no answers were forthcoming. Date is a battle? My voice is also shot because, like, I spent like 6 fucking hours belting out music as I was driving to my sister's house, and 6 hours when I was coming back. So that's why my voice is shot. Because I sing really awesome. And by that, I hope you realize I'm being sarcastic. It's terrible. So, process of elimination is next, obviously. Process of elimination. It bugs me how many women are involved in Ichiya's life, but he insists there's a reason for it. Oh, this is interesting. I don't know if I can do Kasuga's voice right now. Hold on. You seem tired, Miss Spacey. Did something happen at school today? I can't do his voice right now. You'd be amazed at how, like, when your voice isn't working, can't get the pitch right to do your Irish accent. Yeah, you could say that. I can't do my normal voice either, but... Oh, I was under the impression that Miss Kano had taken today off from class at her family's request. Don't worry, I saw him. I was just in the middle of reading and I didn't want to go, oh, Kasuga! I just figured I'd finish reading before I fangirled and fell off my ball. Not because I blacked out, because Kasuga's so fucking hot and I love him. She did. Because she wasn't present, several people came to speak with me. Oh, I see. Without Miss Kano there to shoo them away, some ladies pounced on the chance to get to know you. Look, he looks so sympathetic. He's like, aw, that's cute. People are trying to be your friends and you're scared of them. Literally me, Kasuga. Come be my butler. If that's all it was, I wouldn't have minded, but, well, apparently there were some odd rumors going around. I thought back on all the casual chatter that clearly masked probing questions. I sighed. I could understand if it was rumors about my date with Ichiya the other day. But where'd this rumor about him and I getting married next month come from? It was ridiculous. Patently ridiculous. It vexed me to no end to learn so many girls believe that silliness. If they'd actually asked me outright, I could have told them it's not true, but they all danced around the subject like ballerinas and then scurried away. Like rats. Ballerina rats. Like the Nutcracker. Really? Well, that seems awfully charming of them. Hey! This isn't funny, Oh, I guess there were some rumors that I did agree with. Like the one about Ichiya's cooking being on par with gourmet chefs. I wondered, did the one time he brought my packed lunch leave such a powerful impression on everyone? Now they seem to take it for granted that I'm engaged to him. Well, you are. Temporarily. For political convenience. Temporarily. Not that anyone knows that. I will admit that my opinion of Ichiya has improved just a little bit. He's learned a few more recipes, and his Japanese cooking, well, not as delicious as Sumiko's, is rather tasty. What, Kasuga? Nothing, miss. I was simply thinking that you've become quite smitten with Mr. Mitsumori. Excuse me? Haven't you noticed? You've spoken of nothing but him for the entirety of the day. No, I haven't. You're just imagining things. Again, why is Kasuga okay with this? Okay. Why is he okay with this? Kasuga, I'm gonna need you to stop. This hurts my heart. And that could be because I'm having a heart attack. I don't know. I'm just saying, Kasuga, you're gonna give me a coronary. Like, what the fuck? Stop it. Stop it. He was fine with Taiga. He's like, oh, cool. And now he's like, okay with Egypt. Kasuga! This is not what we agreed on. You hurt my feelings. Don't make me cry. I'm already, like, sad and shit. I'm worried and I'm stressed, Kasuga. I need you to not be okay with me marrying other people. I need you to come take me away. What the fuck? Ugh! He was right, though. And that stung my pride. I turned and looked out the car window in a pout. We were almost home. Just a few more minutes and the house's comforting outline would come into view. Wait, is that... Kasuga, stop here! This is far enough. Go back without me. Is something the matter? It's nothing, don't worry. Go on ahead. I'll walk the rest of the way. I go, Kasuga's like, alright. He gives no... Kasuga, this is... I can't... What the... I ignored his suspicious glance and closed the car door behind me. The car didn't move for a long moment, but then Kasuga resigned and pulled away. It sounds like Kasuga is the one driving the car. Is Kasuga our butler and our chauffeur? I always felt like we had a chauffeur and Kasuga was not the one driving. Why am I... Did anyone else get that impression? I always just kind of felt like Kasuga wasn't... I mean, we never mentioned a driver, but it always just... Never, ever, like, I don't know why I made the assumption, like, oh, okay, because we've got a driver and Kasuga's not the one that picks us up and drives us. Like, we're so fucking rich and Kasuga has to be our driver and our butler and our future husband. A lot of work for him, but, like, fine. He's an industrious bastard. I'm here for it. I watched the car drive away and turned to look over there. I feel like this is Ichiya, and that's why we stopped. So anyway, I'm just going to read it like Ichiya. No, you needn't. You don't need to thank me. When you see someone in need, it's only natural to go and help them, right? Yeah. We wouldn't have stopped if it wasn't Ichiya. Still, though, I have to admit that, as a man, I wanted an excuse to come and say hello to you beautiful ladies anyway. Excuse me, motherfucker? He smiled, and the group of girls surrounding him broke into colorful peals of laughter. If I wasn't paying attention to him and this was in a different route, I'd be like, well, it's because I'm not paying attention to him. But now I'm like, excuse me! I am paying attention to you! Kasuga! You and I are getting married right now. That's it, I'm done. Why don't they look like they're having fun? Thank you, mister. You helped us. Oh, thank you, mister. You helped us a lot. It's foreigner Lady A, so. You're welcome. I hope you lovely ladies enjoy your vacation. Ah! Her face. One of the girls, a tourist, leaned forward and gave Ichiya a kiss on the cheek. Well, that's not weird in some other places, so. Then she and the other girls gave him a wave and walked away. Ichiya watched them go, and he was grinning. I mean, I guess, you know, you could be like, oh, they're tourists, you were helping them, and you were like, oh, lovely ladies, blah, 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 just being polite, and then you're never going to see them again, so it's like, alright, fine. But at the same time, thunder or a jet? Jeez. Okay, and time to head back and start making dinner. And we're just standing there. What the fuck? Spacey, what are you doing here? What? Did you have some sort of problem with me being here? No, I don't, but, and did you happen to, you know, see something just now? Oh no, I saw nothing. I most assuredly did not see the man who's technically my suitor blushing and smiling at a bunch of girls. Oh, good. Wait, whoa! You have the wrong idea. Honest, they only asked me for directions. Apparently, this is their first time in Japan and they'd gotten lost. Don't get me wrong. If I ever get to go to Japan and I get lost, I'm asking the first hack I see too. You'd be like, I'm lost. Wait. That guy's hot. Let's ask him. I'd actually be like, let's find somebody that might speak English because I bet I can't speak Japanese by the time I go. You know, considering the fact that in the 2 years that were COVID, I didn't really do very much of my language learning like I should have, and like I'm pretty sure I have to start over now. I didn't do as much as I should have. I did a little bit, but it was like, man, that was 2 years of like I had nothing better to do, and like, and I haven't gotten back into it because I need to if I need to find another routine, you know what I mean? I have to like force it into my routine, so it's like I do my language learning, I do my recording, I do that. I just I gotta like get into the fucking routine, and I just haven't fucking finagled it in there. So anyway, one of them kissed you on the cheek. That's because she's a foreigner. It's just a greeting to them, really. To some people, yes, I agree. So he's not technically wrong. Uh-huh. Please, you have to listen to me. I don't care if the whole world doubts me as long as you still have faith in me. I swear upon the golden hue of this beautiful sunset, I haven't done anything at all inappropriate. Pizza Mori, thanks a bunch. I'll message you on West later. Nothing inappropriate. Uh-huh. I'm gonna go message your fucking brother that I don't know is your brother. I'm just saying. Oh, her boyfriend dumped her not long ago and she was feeling really depressed. I was worried for her, so I said she could talk to me if she needed to. Yeah. And then, like, my penis fell into her by accident. I'm just saying, look, you're on a slippery slope, fucking Ichia. Oh, hello, Ichia. Come by the bar again sometime. I'll set aside a bottle for you. Okay, she's not a foreigner. She'd be like, oh, hello, Ichia. Come by the bar again sometime. I'll set aside a bottle for you. She's just the bartender at a billiards bar that I patronize on occasion. Really? You've got it all wrong! Heard that bullshit before. Ichia? What? His eyes were wide and nervous, and I could see his lips quivering. I gave him my best smile and said, here's the thing, at least he's quivering and nervous, not like, what, you've got it all wrong. How dare you? Where they get all sad and depressed and you feel like an asshole because you caught them and you were like, wait, I was right, you son of a lying sack of shit. Look, this is triggering some shit, okay? I'm just saying. Goodbye. You're going in the same direction. It's going to be hard for him not to follow you. Spacey? Oh, you decided to follow me, Mr. Mitsumori. You're on such good terms with so many lovely women. Why bother with little old me when you could go chase after one of them? Come on. You don't have to be mad. You know I'm all yours and no one else's. Really. I kept walking, utterly ignoring his desperate, stumbling attempt to tail me. This is only the first of the, issues that we're gonna have. Spacey, please. You have to listen. Ugh! He's really starting to irritate me. I couldn't put up with it any longer. I whirled around and glared, making Ichia jump. If you have something to say, spit it out. Otherwise, I'm leaving. No, I do. I have something to say. Please listen. Ichia took a few deep breaths, obviously gathering his thoughts. Then he bowed deeply in apology. I'm sorry. I don't mean anything by it, but I do realize that I have many more opportunities than most men to speak with ladies. That obviously upset you. For that, I apologize. It didn't upset me. I simply don't want anything resembling insincerity in my relationships. And it's entirely understandable that you think I'm not sincere, but please, believe me when I say I meant absolutely nothing by it. I swear. He winced and looked guiltily to the side. See, I wind up spending more time around women than men because of simple process of elimination. Process of elimination? What in the world did he mean by that? I looked at him confused. The look on his face told me he really didn't want to talk about this. but he slowly began to speak. Well, I've never gotten along well with other. I've never gotten along with other guys very well. Even when I was a kid, I almost no male friends to speak of. I still don't. I like girls. I'm not friends with other girls. I'm only friends with guys because, like, girls have so much drama and boys don't. Not like other girls. Are you, like, not like other boys, Ichia? Do we have to create a fucking subreddit for you? I know that's not what it's going to be, but it comes out like that. I didn't have any guy friends because they just don't get me. It's been that way ever since I got old enough to know what love and romance is. And the other guys were kind of, well, jealous of me. That also comes out kind of sounding wrong. Oh. I started to see where he was going with this. It admittedly made sense. Even though I didn't mean to cause problems, guys would blame me for siphoning girls away from them. They even accused me of stealing their girlfriends. Is it because Ichi is just, like, cheesy and flirty and, like, handsome? So, like, I mean, I get that, because if other guys, like, all of a sudden Ichi walks up and isn't, instead of being like, oh, hey, yeah, he's like, oh, of course I'll hold the door for you. What's a lovely dress? And they're like, my boyfriend never tells me my dress is pretty. Like, you know what I mean? And then they get mad because they already have issues maybe with their boyfriend. And then, like, Ichi comes along just try to be nice because he's a little too nice. And then, like, people don't fucking get it's not flirting. You know what I mean? But also, I'm pretty sure he just kind of is a flirt. You know? But, I mean, some of the things he says are not, like, super flirty. Like, holding the door, being polite, being whatever. And, like, it's not necessarily flirty. It's just, you know, because some of the things could be flirtatious. Even when they're not and you're just being nice, people take it the wrong way. That's why a guy at work one time came up to me and was like, okay, I'm not trying to be creepy, but that's a really nice dress. Like, he wasn't like, you look hot, bitch. Or like, damn, girl. He was like, he complimented my dress, not me in the dress. But he had to preface it with, I'm not trying to be creepy. Because otherwise, if he was like, oh, it's a really nice dress, I could have been like, oh my God, you're sexually harassing me. You're talking about my dress, not me. Don't get it twisted, bitches. Right? But, like, men have to say that because there are going to be creepy men who are going to say creepy shit. You know what I mean? So, anyway. And to avoid unnecessary drama, I started avoiding certain people. And eventually, I just didn't have any male friends left. I only hung out with girls. I get it. From a woman's point of view, it's easy to see Ichiya as the ideal man. He's dependable, devoted, and kind, and handsome. You forgot the handsome part. For a man, I could easily see how they'd feel threatened by him and want to keep him at arm's length. The reasons weren't exactly the same, but I'd been treated similarly by girls my age. Yeah, you're also rich and everything like, you know what I mean? It's easier just being around women. The kinder I am to them, the happier they are. The kinder they are to me in return, and the kinder they are to me in return. No, I wasn't able to even get along with my family back then. The women's kindness was a blessing to me. A real blessing. So it's, well, a habit, I guess. And I mean, it's also kind of hard too, because now he's actually got like 3 guy friends, kind of. But they're also vying for the same girl, technically. I mean, as far as we're aware, let's just pretend, right? Shion is, Nayuta's not. Taiga's like, I'm here just to watch. But like, in Ichiya's mind, they're here vying for your attention. So even though they're kind of getting along, it's still like, but we're still kind of competition. And he's probably also thinking, if I win her, they're not going to be my friends anymore. So like, because that's what he's used to, you know? And it'd be a fair enough assumption. We get along, but that doesn't mean you're going to stay friends forevers, you know? Did something happen between you and your family? Well, yeah, you could say that. Ichiya's eyes slid sideways. He obviously didn't want to approach the subject. Really curious, but if it's a delicate subject with him, maybe it's better if I don't pry. I thought about it for a minute and then deliberately changed the subject. But don't you get along pretty well with Taiga, Shion, and Nayuta? They're men. Aren't you all friends? Well, I guess. We're technically rivals, but for some reason the 3 of them aren't so bad. Perhaps because of the topic change, Ichiya suddenly looked a lot more at ease. At first I was pretty reserved around them. I tried to keep them at a distance, but you know what they're like. I try to hold them at arm's length and they don't care. They'll barge right on in wherever they please. And it's not like they've ever acted jealous of me either. True. Heck, never mind being jealous, most of them tend to make him the butt of their jokes more often than not. And this may sound odd, especially now, but I'm actually enjoying this life quite a bit. Yeah, they can be exhausting to deal with, but I'm never bored, that's for sure. See, this is why it's a happy harem. I'm just saying. Why can't we keep them all? I mean, like, Nayuta, again, it would just be to play fetch and go for walkies and, like, whatever. Like, you know, sometimes you just want someone to cuddle up and pet you. Well, you'd have to pet him, I guess. But, like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, but, like, you know, I mean, I'm down for keeping this as a harem. This is fine. I can keep them all. Especially Kasuga. He's top dog in the... He's top dog in this kennel. That's weird. Oh, we crossed a line there. Oh, anyway. I hate to admit it, but they're all pretty decent guys. Oh my god, is he kind of blushing? Oh my god, he's got a man crush on them. It's adorable. Oh, look at his precious little face when he's blushing. I think it's so much more adorable because he's blushing talking about the other boys. Oh, stop. A shy smile pried at the edges of his lips. He was probably happier about them than he let on. Yeah, because he's a little blushy. Oh, that hurts my heart. And not that I have any intention of letting any of them take you away from me, of course. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but if you're serious about this, you'll need to be more careful about your interactions with other women. I'll do my best. And that was all for our discussion. We walked back home together, acting as we always did. I thought he was just a flake and a hopeless flirt, but when I dug deeper, I found reasons for a shtick. Ever since I chose him as my temporary fiancé, I'd unexpectedly learned a lot about him as a person. Kind of alike in some weird ways. I discovered some commonalities between us too. Perhaps that's why I want to learn even more about him. But it's like sweet. He's kind of like just awkward flirt and he doesn't mean to, but like whatever. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here because we're like over time because I just wanted to get to the end of that part. And I did talk a lot on this one, but anyway. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.